In this video, I'll be letting my bias show again, and I'll be telling you guys the 4 worst talismans in Elden Ring. These are purely my opinion on the worst talismans in Elden Ring, but I believe I'm 100% right because I find them completely worthless. Let's start off at number 4 with the Longtail Cat Talisman. I find this one to be completely worthless because unlike in Dark Souls, where that ring is still worthless, mind you, but you don't take fall damage every time you make a little drop per se, but every time you take a fall that depletes your stamina fully, then you take damage, and so on and so forth until you take a fall high enough till you die. This doesn't increase the amount of height you can fall from or anything like that. All it does is stop you from taking any damage from a height that won't kill you. So for example, at the back of the Foot of Reprimand, you should be able to jump off the edge of the building and onto the ground below and still survive. But if you jump off to the right side of the building and it's barely a foot down, like it's literally negligible, you'll still die with the Longtail Cat Talisman on. But if you jump from the back wall instead of off to the right, you'll live and you won't take damage. The talisman will prevent you from taking any fall damage, even if you take some, which is nice. Yeah, that's great, but it doesn't let you fall from even a foot more. It's actually negligible. All this does is save you an Estus and waste an entire talisman slot. It's completely worthless. So anyway, moving on to the next one that I find to be completely worthless is the Talisman of All Crucibles. This one is actually kind of just dependent on the player. I don't do a lot of PvP. This would be great in PvP if you knew how to dodge and whatnot properly. I kind of just play PvE. I don't really do PvP. But it makes you take more damage. Just like it's all the talismans put together, and two of them make you take more damage, right? So this one makes you take all that more damage as well, but it saves you 3 talisman slots. So this is great for PvP. Meanwhile, I don't do PvP. This is worthless in PvE, I believe, unless you're going up against a Black Knife Assassin or something. I don't know. But anyway, I find this to be completely worthless. That's why it's here. And moving on to the next one. At number 2 stands the Perfumer's Talisman. I find this worthless because I don't use any perfumer bottles. Maybe I'd be a better player if I did, but I don't feel like going around and farming the materials needed to make a simple bottle, especially if I'm going to be using them like crazy. So that stands here for that reason. It increases it by 20%, which is nice for those that like throwing bottles, but I just find it completely worthless in that regard as well. So the next one, actually, number 1 is a 2-for-1 special here. Standing at number 1 is Beloved Stardust and the Radigan Talisman, the Radigan Icon Talisman. I believe these ones to be worthless because all it does is increase your casting speed by a very small amount. All it does is boost your imaginary dexterity or whatever it's called, so you cast more. So when you boost your dexterity, with it comes casting speed up to level 40, and that is basically what that talisman does. It gives you those stats for the dexterity, but without the damage and all that, just the casting speed. And I think that's completely worthless. That's just me though. I think taking more damage with Beloved Stardust is absolutely horrible, and I think it's absolutely stupid to waste a talisman slot on the Radigan Icon Talisman when you could throw on like Godfrey Icon Talisman or something else. Just something that would do more damage instead of casting more speed, because it's like literally negligible in that regard. Anyway, that's just about it. I could have thrown on like Daedicur's Woe or something like that, but at the very least I think those are kind of funny. Meanwhile, the ones that I put on this list are worthless in pretty much all regards. Though that's just to me. Again, this is my opinion, and I'm always right, so get that through your head. Anyway, that's about it. Until next time. See ya.
Subscribe to Sleepy Soul.